Tools and Twisties, Precision Tools and Performance Cars. Today we're going to look at some big box tool deals and my tool haul. So we've looked at Harbor Freight deals and some Amazon deals. Today we're going to look at some deals from Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, and Advance Auto, and just show you a couple things I picked up recently and what I think is maybe a hit and what I think is maybe a miss. Let's start with Home Depot. Quite honestly, I thought it was a little bit tough to find some good deals at Home Depot with tools that I'd actually be interested in owning that were at a reasonable price. But one thing that caught my eye were these Channellocks. These are oil filter pliers, and you know, I've lived my whole life without this style of oil filter pliers, but you know, I've had some oil filters that have been tough to take off in the past, and I've had to try a variety of methods. So these are USA made Channellocks. They were reasonably priced. I think they were 25 bucks at Home Depot, and I'm going to give them a try. You know, I always like, you know, I don't mind import tools. I don't mind Taiwanese tools. My preference is always for Japanese or German or US made tools. And I think that, you know, we can get a USA made tool for a reasonable price. Maybe you grab it and try it, and hopefully these will be decent. If some of the folks out there, some of the viewers have used these particular style of oil filter pliers, and have any comments, please let me know below. Let me know what you think and whether they're keepers or whether they just sit in your drawer collecting dust. What else? On the same USA theme, I picked up these DASCO Pro, this DASCO Pro alignment punch. I have some similar ones. This is a size I didn't have before. Again, made in the USA. I think this was pretty reasonable. I think this was 16 bucks or so. And yeah, I like it. I haven't opened this one up yet, but you know, it's a quality tool. I have some other DASCO punches. They've held up well, and I have some Mayhew punches or alignment punches that I'll compare this to in a future, possibly in a future video. Well, that's my second pick, and this was on a clearance section. It's a Ryobi flexible bit driver, made in Taiwan, not in China, and it was $5. And yeah, honestly, this is probably something that will sit in my drawer and maybe get used, maybe not. But you know, I couldn't resist the bargain for $5, so I grabbed it. I think probably the best deals in Home Depot, and they were converting. They were definitely setting up for Black Friday and for holiday deals. And they had whole sections that were blocked off, that they had huge boxes, pallets of stuff that they hadn't set up yet. But I think that their Milwaukee tools are usually priced very well. And I picked up this Milwaukee stubby 3/8 inch impact not too long ago, and it was a great deal. I think I paid 165 bucks for this with 2 batteries. The deals on these seem to come and go, but I bet you that there's going to be some upcoming deals on this, and I really like it. They have the new subcompact out. This is the compact stubby M12, but I like this one better. It's got 500 foot-pounds, 550 foot-pounds of torque, and you know, I think that what I give up in size, this is still pretty tiny compared to the 1/2 inch one that I'm used to using. And I may pick up the subcompact at some point with less torque for, you know, interior car work or something like that. But this, I think, is Home Depot's, you know, best deal is their Milwaukee stuff, and that particular Milwaukee stubby impact, that one's in 3/8, I think is a great deal. So Lowe's had a bunch of stuff that I thought was interesting. The first thing is the Craftsman. It's the Craftsman Overdrive wrench set. It's 50 bucks on sale, and this is, you know, very similar to the RBRT ones that Mac makes, and I have a set of USAG ones that are very similar. But these are pretty nice wrenches. They have the anti-slip design on them. Nice beams, 6-point boxes with anti-slip on the box end as well. You can see it there a little bit. And you know, for 50 bucks, it's a made in Taiwan set. I'm pretty happy with this. I have a lot of wrench sets, so you know, don't really need another, but you always need another. So again, this is the Craftsman Overdrive from Lowe's for 50 bucks. I think good deal on sale. Lowe's also has a lot of Klein stuff, and the Klein cutter I picked up recently. I think it's just under 10 bucks. Again, this is a made in Taiwan tool. It's nice. it's been my primary for a while. So yeah, a couple weeks I've had it, and it's not on sale, but it's a good deal at Lowe's for 10 bucks. I think you can't go wrong with that. Klein is also doing these Blackout series, and this is the, what do they call it, 11-in-1 screwdriver. And I haven't opened this one up yet because I'm not 100% sure I'm going to keep it. Quite honestly, I think this Klein ball grip screwdriver, which interestingly enough, they don't seem to sell at Lowe's, is an absolute out of the park hit. And I guess I don't see the point in having this one. I mean, it's cool that it's Blackout. It's a made in Taiwan tool, and this is, you know, it's reasonably priced. It is $10 for the flick blade and $15. So this is the same price for this as it is for this. I think this is a win, but you can't get it at Lowe's. And this is, you know, maybe a miss. I don't like this style as much. I like being able to use standard bits, and this one can't use the standard bits. But Klein has some other great stuff. I had a 4-in-1 metric only of these flip sockets, and this was on sale for a great price. I think it was 25 bucks, I want to say. Yep, 22 bucks. And it comes in metric and standard and 6-piece instead of 4. Made in Taiwan. And I don't use a lot of standard tools, but it's nice to have all the standard tools I'm ever going to need for, you know, an interior, fix something in the house job, maybe appliances, that sort of thing, where you need standard tools. And the metric I use all the time. And these will either go on, you know, they'll go on any 1/4-inch hex bit, but they work particularly well on this Klein ball driver. And then you can also throw them on your impact. This is, by the way, a Koken 3/8, 2/4-inch hex adapter, which is really very nice. But then you can use this thing and have any one of these bits, and I'm sure you've seen these before, but these are the flip bits, and you can take them off and flip them around, and then you can take the one off the back and put it up front. And basically you get a full set of sockets, 6 different sizes of sockets in one very compact go bag. And then, you know, you can have your SAE and your standard. And that basically, you know, that combined with something like this and an impact driver, and you kind of have a whole driver toolkit. So what's next? That was, I think, 22 bucks. These things are pretty cool. These are the Kobalt, the new Kobalt sort of mini Knipex knockoffs. And, you know, this is the twin grip knockoff. Here's the Knipex twin grip. It's obviously a smaller size. These are interestingly made in Korea. One is made in Vietnam. I think this one is made in Vietnam, and these two are made in Korea. I have not seen Korean-made tools generally available before. So again, leave in the comments below if you're starting to see Korean tools. They seem to be, you know, they're not, let's get it out of the way, they are not Knipex quality. Here's the Knipex plier wrench, and it's a little bit smaller. I have the Knipex plier wrench in a smaller size, and then there's the Kobalt, and then I have the Knipex plier wrench in a large size. So it's kind of nice that I have this in-between size in this Kobalt, but, you know, at 25 bucks, 25 bucks for a set of 3, I didn't expect Knipex quality. They're not bad. They'll probably hold up. They'll turn a bolt. But yeah, if you're expecting to get a Knipex, the same quality as Knipex for 1/3 the price, no, it's not going to happen. But they're pretty nice tools. And so that's the plier wrench, which you've probably seen some videos on these before, but they really work extremely well for bolts. If you can get the tool in there, they grip bolts extremely well. And this is sort of the Cobra style. And again, I have Cobras from Knipex in a larger size and a smaller size, but I don't have anything in this in-between size. And the Cobras are, you know, one of my go-to tools. Cobras are excellent. And these Kobalt ones, you know, a little bit different jaw design. You can see it's not quite the same. Jaw design is different. It's a little bit, you know, a little bit more awkward. The button sticks out way farther. You know, the quality of the metal and the finish doesn't look as nice. The jaw fit, yeah, not as good. It's not as narrow. But, you know, again, for 25 bucks for a set of 3. I think this is going to make a great set to put in a go bag, you know, a car tool bag, or keep in the kitchen tool drawer kind of tool set, or as a gift for 25 bucks. I don't think they earn a place in my main toolbox as a primary tool that I'm going to use, but pretty cool tools, and I commend Lowe's and Kobalt for coming out with them. So put the Knipex away, and we have, what do we have left? We have Advance Auto. People had been raving about these DieHard ratchets, and I thought I would try one. I think they're 80 tooth ratchets. They're pretty smooth. I took it apart, lubed it up. It really didn't need it, but I lubed it up a little bit more. And you know, it's not a locking, it's a good length, 17 inches. I think it's a good length, and I didn't have one in this length in a flex head, so I thought I'd grab it. It is a little bit, you know, I tried tightening this bolt. It's basically as tight as I would kind of dare make it without breaking it. And I don't think tightening it anymore changes it, but it's a little bit floppier than I'd like. You know, which I guess is why people use locking flex heads. And I do have a pretty big socket on there. But this 36 bucks, that is a good deal for a high quality, made in Taiwan, lifetime warranty, decent ratchet. So yeah, I think that's a go. 36 bucks, that's a go. So Walmart. I don't shop a lot at Walmart, don't buy a lot of tools at Walmart. But I'd seen some of these HyperTough tools, and I have a couple. I have a HyperTough impact driver, very inexpensive. It's worked fine. But they had some deals. This was a HyperTough hex key set, and it's a metric hex, standard hex, and Torx. $6. You know, what was it made, I think, in Vietnam? Yeah, made in Vietnam. You know, the Klein version is significantly more, and it's probably still made in Vietnam. They probably all come out of the same factory. You know, it's not something I want to keep in my box for my primary tools. But you know, when I'm in the house and I have a plumbing fixture that I need to, you know, take a handle off of, or a doorknob I need to release, sometimes it's nice to have one of these, you know, close by without having to run down to the main toolbox and grab my good tools. So these will either stay in a car bag or in a kitchen drawer kind of toolbox. And yeah, you know, for $6, I think, again, great gift, can't really go wrong. Then they have these HyperTough, and these are clearly geared towards gifts. They come in these kind of, you know, nice boxes, and it even has a little magnet that holds it shut. You know, box is pretty cool. But the tool inside, you know, it's this gold anodized thing, and it's a 3-way ratchet. Kind of semi-clever, 1/4 inch, 3/8 and 1/2 inch, all in the same tool. But I think it even says on there, yep, right there, light duty. I think that pretty much says it all. I don't know, I assume these are lifetime warranty. But yeah, 72 tooth. You know, I think this is a great gift for somebody that is not a tool snob. I'm not sure this one's a keeper for me though. It's kind of clever. I thought I would check it out. It's not terrible. It's got some play in it. You know, I think it'll be a little clumsy if you're using a 3/8 to have this thing sticking off the back. I don't love the fact that it says light duty right on there. It's kind of like, might as well say, I will break easily. But at any rate, comes in a cool box. Nice little gift. And then they also had this HyperTough. I have not had one of these carabiner style bit holders before. I keep seeing them, and I've thought about buying them. They're actually kind of pricey for, you know, you get like a 2 or 3 pack and they're like 12 bucks or something. This was 12 bucks as you see it here, and it came with the bits. So, you know, it's nice, but the bits I probably wouldn't trust for any kind of heavy duty work. It comes with, you know, a 3/8 inch adapter, a 1/4 inch adapter, a Phillips, a flat, and a Torx, and a bit driver. But the carabiner itself is kind of junk. You know, it's good for holding something about as heavy as this, and not much more. And the bits, I think, are probably not great bits. And so you're basically just buying it for these. And they work well enough. They're not, you can't like self-insert them. They're not auto-locking. You have to pull it to insert them. So again, I think these are really designed to be gifts rather than quality tools. And I like quality tools. So I'm going to say, for me, the two HyperToughs are a miss. These are, you know, a hit only because they're so cheap and, you know, they'll last a few times. The Kobalt stuff, nice. I mean, 25 bucks. They'll get used. Not in my primary toolbox, but I kind of like them. You know, Klein knife, definite plus. Klein multi-purpose, that's a no. The Klein flip sockets, absolute, go grab these at 22 bucks. That's about half what they usually are. Good deal. If one of the big boxes starts selling this, pick it up for sure. If not, get it at Amazon. These are like 16 or 17 bucks. These are awesome. I have a lot of vessel screwdrivers. I have a lot of vessel ball screwdrivers. This is made in Japan, and it's, I dare say, better than the vessels, which is not faint praise. And, you know, again, the Craftsman Overdrive, $50 for a backup set of wrenches or your primary. It does have some skips. I don't love that it has skips. I don't love wrenches with skips in them. But that's pretty common these days to have skips. It comes in this nice case, not too bad. So, you know, I think we've got some good, and of course the Milwaukee Impact. This is a definite plus, a definite go. And the DieHard Ratchet, that's a go, 36 bucks. So we got a bunch of tools today, and you know, hopefully you found some of these interesting. Let me know in the comments what you like, what you're going to pick up, what you already own, what you think is junk, and tune in for more tools and twisties. And we are out.